Hi, I'm Gretchen Tornabene. I'm part of the English department here. I teach Honors English 10, and right now I'm teaching 20th century literature for seniors for the elective. And this is Teacher Feature.
So I want to introduce you to Google Docs, which is a tool in Gmail, which everyone can use if you have a Gmail account. And actually you can share documents with people who don't have Gmail accounts as well. But for this purpose, everybody in the school has a Gmail account, so this works quite well. So we start from our mail folder, and we can access the Google Docs just from our mail folder when we click on Documents, and then we'll see the document folder right there. But it is instead of using Microsoft Word, this is an alternative to using Microsoft Word because it's live and it's actually stored in their Gmail account versus being stored on their computer. My reason for using it is because I wanted to find a way to more effectively communicate with the students in real time sometimes. And the other ways that I was reading drafts weren't quite working out the way I wanted them to. So hopefully, as I walk you through the steps of creating a Google Doc, sharing a Google Doc, and some other tools that the students can use with the Google Docs, hopefully you'll understand better how you could use it. So first I want to talk about the purpose of using Google Docs as a way to collaborate with the students in sometimes in real time, and a place for them to sort of write their essays, basically. My main reason for wanting to use Google Docs was I wanted a way to comment on students' work more effectively and more timely. I was finding that, back before the computers, we were having to collect the drafts of the papers and then get it back to the students, and there was some time there, especially with the block schedule, that was lost. And then with Moodle, I started having students turn in drafts of their papers into Moodle, but by the time I graded them and downloaded them onto my computer, uploaded them again, it also took a lot of time. And so I started using Google Docs in order to give them feedback, and sometimes in a very right away or in a very timely manner, and it was very efficient. So I would suggest the purposes for this would be when students are doing collaborative projects, they can use a Google Doc to share their work. And also whenever a teacher is asking them to do process work, where there's going to be many drafts of a paper or of a project, where you can get in there and give them feedback before the final draft is due. So getting started, this is, you can see my email account up here, and basically you want to click on Documents first, and it will take you to the Google Docs, and then you'll see this is just a list of all of my documents that I have from all the papers, and if you see here, I'm on the home screen, and so the home screen has all of your documents, and then down here we have my collections. In order to start a collection and to create a collection, you just go to Create New, and you can create a collection, and then you can create a collection and then create a collection within a collection. And so my two main collections, were Period 4, and these are my sophomore classes, and Period 8. So you can see I have 3 collections within those, and one is the group essay that they did earlier this year, and a personal narrative assignment, and the research paper, which is what we're working on today. So I'm going to show you a sample from my 8th period research paper. So these are all their documents that they shared with me, and I'm going to show you one student's work in particular. So if I click on his document, I chose this student because he's particularly well organized, and his document is very pretty. So he's doing his research paper on The Catcher in the Rye, and he actually downloaded the due dates an assignment schedule onto this Google Doc so he could remind himself of the due dates. And you can see here he crossed out the due dates that he's already completed. So all the due dates are on there. And then you can see some of his work. So he started with the first 2 sections of the research paper. One is the objectionable content in the book, and the other is the merits, outlining the merits of the book. So you can see he's working on drafting I have not had a chance to read his drafts yet, but they did have a chance to do one peer edit, and you can see the peer edit over on the right. You can see the comments. Actually, this comment right here is a comment he gave. I think he's explaining a choice that he made in his writing. And then down here is a partner of his who asked him certain questions and highlighted things. In order to make a comment, you can click on something. You could highlight this whole phrase if I wanted to, and you could go insert comment. There's also a shortcut to do it as well, but you can do insert comment, and then you just start typing your comment. This looks great. And then when you type something wrong, you just go back and fix it. So you could make any comments, and then when the student then is looking at it, they can trash the comment if they're not really into it, or they can keep the comment and make the change. The other, while looking at the Google Doc, the other thing that will happen, and we're not seeing it right now because I'm the only one looking at this document, but if the student were looking at it with me, on the right side here, it would come on and say that he was viewing the document the same time as I was viewing it. And a window, I guess it would pop up, or a side of the window, and we could actually talk right there about his essay. And this has been particularly helpful when I've been at home grading or looking at an essay, and I'm able to give live feedback to the students, and they find this very helpful because they can ask their questions to me, and they know when I'm looking at their paper. It's transparent. We're not trying to hide anything. It's very obvious when we're looking at it. So you can add comments. You can talk live with them. At the end, when they're finished with the paper, if you're worried about how they get it to Microsoft Word now, you go to File and then Download As, and you can pick your format in which to download the paper as. So we usually do Microsoft Word format, and it will download it right onto the computer. Another option in the File menu is that you can see the revision history. So if you click on the revision history, this window comes up on the side, and it shows all of his revision histories and also when I was in there looking at it. So if he made a change and then erased it, decided he wanted to go back, he could always pick when he wanted to look at that previous draft. But for now, we will X that. I was thinking about particularly what the students can do with it, and mostly I think the students find it helpful for peer editing, along with they can also send it to other friends that aren't in this class if they want a friend to look at it, and they can get some feedback about anything. They really just have to share it with them. So the sharing process is you come up to the right here, and you go to sharing settings, and then you just type in the people who you want to share it with. Their email address is right here, and you just share it with them. Probably, maybe the best thing about this, or maybe one of the best things about it, is that it's always online. It's in the cloud versus having to be on their computer. So if their computer doesn't work for some reason at school, they can get a loaner computer and they can still work on their essay. There are no longer any excuses to it's on my computer crashed. That's not going to happen. It's on Gmail. So as long as Google and Gmail don't crash, their papers will always be accessible. So I think that's about it. You can always ask me more questions if you have any questions. And that's it for this teacher feature.